Look at that. Look at that. So pretty. Hey you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking new makeup. We're talking what's on my face today. We did a full face of new makeup. I'm so happy with how the makeup turned out. Let me know down below your thoughts before we even get into the video. What do you think of the makeup, the skin, the lips, all of it? Let me know down below. Also, I would love to hear from you guys. What products would you like me to review that are coming out that you've seen, or even if they aren't new that you would like me to review? What types of videos are you hoping to see? More makeup looks, more kind of roundup videos, all of that. I have all those kind of on the horizon, but I'd love to know what you guys would like to see from this channel in 2025. And yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this full face of new makeup. New makeup, let's jump right in. I'm really excited because we have a new foundation and it's supposed to be full coverage. So broke my kneecaps getting it. Brows are already on. I prepped my face, and the face cream that I prepped with is the Extreme Cream from In Beauty Project. Now let's get into the foundation. I was so excited when this launched. So this is from Lawless. This is their Forget the Filler foundation, and it's meant to be full coverage, but it's not like on the matte side, which made me really, really excited. I feel like it's really hard in kind of the clean beauty space to find a foundation that is more full coverage, and the fact that this claimed it, I was like, cool, buying you immediately. I got the shade 13M, and I'm gonna shake this. Do you guys always shake your foundations? I always shake my foundations. And I'm going to just do a pump on the back of my hand. Actually, that wasn't even a full pump. And this is the shade. I feel like I got a pretty good shade that's going to work for me now, but also when it gets a little bit warmer and I have more of a tan, I feel like this is a good shade match. And let me just take it and I'm going to do a little kind of swatch out so you can see. And I'm going to actually apply this to my face and blend it out two different ways. So I'm going to blend one with my finger because I know a lot of people like to blend with their fingers, even their foundation. So do that here. So we're going to blend with our finger first on this side. And I'm going to just take my fingers and we're going to blend. And this is a very comfortable wear for a more full coverage or full coverage claim foundation. It doesn't feel like makeup. It just feels like a nice kind of hydrating serum-y type product. First half of my face is blended. What do you guys think? I feel like I look crazy. I'm looking in the monitor and it's different complexions. However, it is looking a little bit more on the yellow side in the monitor than it does in person. It definitely looks a little bit less yellow. I'm looking very jaundice, if you will, at that monitor. Hopefully it kind of color corrects itself. But anyways, so this is the first half done. Now I'm going to take a little bit more and I'm actually going to use a brush, but the way that I'm going to use it is I'm going to do the way that I normally do my foundation. So I'm going to take a brush, this brush here. This is a back of an Hourglass brush that I broke. It's an Hourglass powder brush, and I'm going to get the foundation all up in here. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to blend it onto my face. Everything's blended. What do you guys think of the finish of the look? This has a really nice kind of natural finish. Dry down. I don't find that it gets super clingy or anything like that to dryness. What I will say, by the end of the day, I do notice with some of my dryness, depending on how textured it is, I can have a little bit of clinging to that like by the end of the day, but on initial application and like kind of wear throughout the day, I don't really have it. It's more by the end of the day. I notice when I'm taking my makeup off that I do have a little bit more clinging to the dryness than I did at the start of the day, but throughout the day, I don't really have any issue with that. I really like the way that this wears. I like how comfortable it is to wear, and I feel like it doesn't highlight any kind of fine lines or anything that I have on my face, and I don't find that it settles into any fine lines kind of around my eyes, like over here or anything like that. It's very nice and very comfortable to wear. And I'm overall actually really happy with the shade, because this is one that I actually feel like this is one for events that I have in summer that I'm going to grab when I want something maybe a little bit more full glam. But let me know your thoughts down below. Again, the shade I got is the shade 13M. Yeah, 13M. I really, really like this. So now what I want to do is I want to go on with the concealer while I let the foundation kind of settle in. I'm not going to powder it just yet. We're going to powder it kind of towards the end. But what I want to do is let the foundation sit. So we're going to go on with the concealer. I'm going on with the Kofi concealer. I'm going to let the concealer sit for about a minute. So we're going to let it marinate for a minute and then blend it out. It's been about a minute. So now I'm going to blend this out with a concealer brush. Now we're going to move on to our new kind of bronzing product, and it is this one from West Minatelier. It is their bronzing drops, and I was so excited to see that this was meant to have more of a matte finish. And I got the shade, I think it's a third shade of the shade options that they, Soleil Parfait 3, which I was excited to see that they had more than 3 shades. I still think brands need to expand more with bronzing options in general, just across the board. But I was really excited to see this. So this is just one drop on the back of my hand, which is really pretty. And this tone works really well for my skin tone. I really like it. And this is one that's gonna graduate, insane, but graduate well into kind of like the summer for me. I'm just gonna kind of spread that out for you so you can kind of really see it in action. It's a good tone for my complexion, and I'm a really big fan of this. I do feel like their shades, at least it looks like, most of them skew a little bit warm, but for something that's meant to be more of a bronzy product, that's kind of what you want. You can wear this all over your face on its own. You can mix it. I've mixed it with face creams. I've mixed it with other foundations. I've mixed it with even their, hello, what is the name? They're super loaded drops that I have in 2 shades. I've mixed it with them. I've mixed it with a bunch of things, and I really enjoy it. But I also really enjoy to wear it on top of makeup, and that's what we're gonna do today. So this is the shade here, and I'm gonna dip in with my brush to the bronzer, and we're just going to, look how pretty that is, girl. We're just gonna kind of blend it up and bronze up our face. I'm also gonna take it down my nose. What do you guys think of our bronze? Let me just decide. It still needs to set a little bit so that it ends up being a little bit more on the matte side, but it does kind of mattify. In my opinion, it kind of goes natural towards matte, but it isn't full matte. At least in my opinion, on my skin type, it doesn't go fully matte. I would say that it kind of goes in between a natural finish and a matte finish. Maybe more of a soft matte is what I would describe it as, but it's so pretty. I mean, what do you think? The shade is gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I'm going this in summer. Me, we're getting married. And look how pretty the packaging is. I love that they gave each shade a different color. So this one's green, then there is like a lighter blue, and then there is a more like turquoisey, bluey green, and then a more vibrant blue color. I really enjoy this. I like the way that it wears. I like to, oh, my dogs are floating around my face. I like the way that it wears on its own, with makeup, on top of makeup, underneath makeup. Overall, I'm a really big fan of this, and although it is pricey, and I'm completely recognizing this, and you could definitely find other options, I like the finish of this because I feel like other kind of bronzing type products that are more liquid, that are kind of meant to be used underneath makeup, on top of makeup, you know, they're kind of versatile bronzy products. I find that they don't quite have this finish. They always have a little bit more of a either natural or maybe even a little bit more of a shimmer to them. Maybe it's a little natural, but with a little bit of dew, whereas this does not have that. Again, to me, it's more of a natural plus direction matte. Not fully matte in my opinion, but the actual finish of it is unique, at least in my opinion and from what I've used. I really enjoy this. I like the pigmentation for me on top of skin tints, no makeup, like full aggressive foundations and kind of all of that. I don't get any patchiness with this, which is really nice. And overall, I'm a really, really big fan, and I really am enjoying the way that it wears. What do you think? Let me know down below. Now we're gonna go on with the blush. We don't have a new blush, but we're gonna go on with the Kofi blush in the shade, if I don't get a grip, in the shade Sandalwood Swirls. And I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I wanted to go with this because I feel like the finish is really nice with the bronzer that we're using. So this is the shade Sandalwood Swirls, and I'm going to dip in with a blush brush, and I'm going to take, this is pigmented, the Kofi blushes are pigmented, and I'm going to, look how pigmented and pretty, and we're just going to build up. We are blushed up. Now I want to let the kind of makeup settle for a second before I go on with our new highlights. So while we wait for that to kind of settle, we're going to move on to the eyes. We're going to go on with a new eyeshadow, and it is from Mob, and it is this eyeshadow here. It's a powder eyeshadow, and I was so intrigued by this shade. This is the shade, what is it? 18? M18, and I'm going to put this all over my lid with just a kind of crease brush, and we're going to kind of build up the shade. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the eyeshadow on this eyeshadow brush and pull it on my lower lash line. I really like this shade. I feel like if you're someone who wants to do the mocha mousse kind of makeup look, this shade is really, really pretty for that. I feel like it has a nice mix of kind of, it's neutral to warm, which I feel like you kind of need for mocha mousse, and then you kind of build up. I have a whole look where I actually almost used this in that instead, but I was still kind of testing it out, so I didn't do that. But I really like this eyeshadow. It's really comfortable to wear. It stays on all day. The shade is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm obsessed with the shade. And overall, I mean, what do you guys think of the shade? Let me know down below. Now what I want to do is I want to take this smoke stick from About Face in the shade Close But No Cigar and use the kind of crayon side, and we're going to pull it on our lash line and blend immediately because this dries down. Love that. Now I want to take this Jane Iredale, their eyeshadow stick in the shade Moonstone, or is it Moonstone? Yeah, Moonstone, and I want to do a little inner corner highlight. Now before we go on with mascara, I want to go on with our new highlighter, and it is this one from CL. I was so excited to get my hands on this. They have so many beautiful shades. I got the shade Piper, and it is a very pretty shade, and I feel like is exactly the kind of shade I actually wanted, which makes me really happy. Just make sure, yeah, there you go, you can see it's very blinding, and I know it looks really light, but once you kind of blend it out with your finger, it really isn't quite as light looking, at least on me. But sometimes you just gotta warm product up to make it work for you. But I really, really like this packaging. It is nice, and I like that it has a stick. That just always makes it a little bit easier to just put stuff on the back of your hand. Then I like to take the product on my hand like this, warm it up, and then I'm going to place it on the high points. Look at that. Look at that. It's so pretty. We're just gonna highlight here the high points of my cheeks and then my nose. I just love that highlight. You'll have to let me know down below what you think. They had two other shades. So they had one that was darker than this one and one that looked like you could see it from Space Bright, like at least on me. So I didn't go with that. I went with the one in the middle. They have, I believe, 3 shades, but maybe it's 4. I could be wrong, but I really, really enjoy this. It gives me that blinding highlight that I love, that I need, that sometimes I crave from 2016, but it isn't quite so too intense, if that makes sense. It's very skin looking on this, like on the skin itself. It doesn't look like there's a lot of product on the skin, which is nice. It's very thin, and once you kind of warm it up and apply it, it just, it's just so beautiful. I really, really love it. I would love to know what you guys think. What do you think of the makeup look so far? I love it. Now what I want to do is I want to go on with a little bit of mascara. We're going to go on with the House Labs mascara before we go on with our new lip product. I was going to powder the face just so that you can see kind of how it looks powdered, but I really want you to be able to see what it looks like in hot studio lights. And I mean the foundation, oh my god, I want you to see how the foundation looks in hot studio lights. I'm wearing a sweater, so I am a little bit warm, so I really want you to see how it wears. I'm going to do 2 coats of the mascara on the top and a light coat on the bottom, and then we're going to move on to our new lip product. Mascara is on. What do you think of the makeup look so far? How do you feel like the finish of the face is? All that. Now let's move on to the lips. I'm going to line my lips with the Jones Road Beauty Lip Liner in Cognac. Then we're going to blend it out just so it's not so stark. Now we're going to go on with our kind of glossy balm product, our new one from LYS Beauty. This is meant to be a glossy balm that's also plumping in general. Anything that claims it's plumping, I swear does nothing for my lips, but I know for other people, stuff that claims to be plumping really works for them. I think it just depends on the person, but anyways. And look how dirty that is. Can I clean my stuff up? And I got the shade, I think it's Visionary. Yeah, the shade Visionary. I love this shade. You twist it up. Can you hear that? Just twist. Love that. And the shade is so pretty. I'm obsessed with it. Look how pretty that lip color is. Are you gagged? It's so pretty. It looks a little bit more pink in the monitor than it's pulling in person, but it is so stunning. I'm going to do a little swatch in the back of my hand for you just so you can kind of see. That is the shade right there. Again, that's the shade Visionary. It is so beautiful. Super comfortable to wear. Again, for me, I don't find anything ever plumps my lips, but I'm sure that for some people this would like feel plumping, but my lips aren't on the thin side, so because of that I feel like it's hard to even notice if something plumps unless it's kind of more on the significant side. I don't know if that makes sense, but I really like this. It's very comfortable to wear. It isn't too thin, so it doesn't kind of just feel like it wipes off right away. It's so comfy. It is so hydrating, and it's very what is the word? It's very buttery when you apply it. So don't push out too much of the product because she's buttery, so it'll kind of go everywhere, but it's very comfortable. I love this shade. It's stunning. I think I'm going to order another one and try it out just to see. But what do you guys think of the makeup look and all of that? Now let's do a quick breakdown of the products. The first one, the Forget the Filler foundation from Lawless. I really like this. I wear the shade 13M in this. I feel like, I mean, I'm in hot studio lights, I'm in a sweater, we've been filming, the filming always takes so long, and I feel like it looks so good. It definitely has a nice natural finish to it, and it has kind of the claim of it being blurring, and I feel like it really does blur my skin. It gives nice full coverage. You can definitely build it up to be more full coverage, but if you want it to be more of a medium plus coverage, you can definitely do that. Just don't apply as much product. It blends beautifully with a sponge, with your fingers, and with a brush. It's just overall, I really like this, and as a full coverage foundation, I am a really big fan of this. It's meant to be hydrating. For me, by the end of the day, my skin isn't feeling tight or anything. I actually really enjoy this foundation. Just as a note, I do have combination skin, so my T-zone is oily. I would say that I do get a little bit of eczema on my cheeks and around my eyes, and then I also do sometimes have just more normal skin, so I kind of am a combo of everything, but it works really well with my skin, and I don't really have any issues. I don't feel like it highlights any fine lines, anything like that. Anyways, I digress. We've talked about that enough. Now, the Westman Atelier, their bronzing drops, I really like this. Again, I have the shade 3 Atelier. What is it? Atelier 3? Did I make that up? Nope, I did make that up. Soleil Parfait number 3. I really enjoy this. I feel like it gives such a beautiful bronze. The shade is beautiful. I feel like it's one that I'm going to be able to wear year round. I like that it has a little bit more of a soft matte finish, and it layers really beautifully when you blend it with a brush. It is great. You can use your fingers. I prefer to only use my fingers when I'm blending it all over the face. When I'm using it on top of makeup, I prefer to use a brush or a sponge. I'm a really, really big fan of this product, and overall it's great. And also the packaging is so pretty. I know it's a little bit more on the expensive side, but I do really enjoy this. Next up, we have the highlighter. I really enjoy this. It is so comfortable to wear. It's nice that it has kind of a doe foot applicator type thing, so you can put it to the back of your hand. Sometimes when I have to always dig my finger into pots for highlighters, I just wish I didn't have to do that, because I know then bacteria, all of that, but that's all right. Both ways are fine, but I really enjoy that this has an applicator, and I like to warm it up, apply to the high points of my cheeks. I have not found that it pills with anything. Again, it has the SPF. Actually, I don't know if I said this. It has an SPF in it. It's an SPF of 50, is it? Yeah, an SPF of 50. I really, really enjoy this, and it's definitely one that, especially in summer, because I feel like that the shade of this kind of like frosty, fun shade, is just going to be everything for my makeup looks in summer. Next up, we have an eyeshadow from Mob, and it's the shade M18. Is it M18? Yeah, M18. It's so beautiful. I really like their eyeshadows. Overall, I have no complaints. Blend beautifully. It isn't super fluffy in the sense where there's like a ton of fallout or anything like that. It wears beautifully throughout the day. I do have oily eyelids. I don't necessarily prime my eyelid every single time I use eyeshadow, and by the end of the day it's still on my eyelid. I have nothing but positive things to say. And that shade, I don't know if you saw my Mocha Mousse kind of makeup video, this shade is going to be used throughout my Mocha Mousse journey, which I'm obsessed with that eye makeup look. Anyways, then we have a new lip product, and I am obsessed with this. First of all, the shade is stunning. It's hydrating. It wears really nicely. Again, it's more of a kind of buttery product, so it isn't going to be the most long lasting on the lips, but it does last longer than other products I've used like this. This one reminds me of the Tarte, their Maracuja lip product. And who else has one like this or like that? I guess it doesn't matter, but either way, I'm a really big fan of this. Again, I want to grab another shade and try it out. But what do you think of the makeup look? What do you think of the lip? Let me know down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.